It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Hello again, everybody. Johnny Styles here with the Wellness Observer Live, and it's time to get it on till the break of dawn. It is time to do the prediction show for the 2023 Arnold Sports Festival. Of course, the Godfather of Wellness covering the Wellness Pro event where we will have 8 competitors doing battle and basically crowning a new Wellness Pro champion. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be in a cold Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. And this would be basically my 11th year, kind of sort of covering the Arnold Classic. I am not going to be there, but still, I'm going to be covering the show from home and giving you guys the prejudging, the wrap ups, the whole 9 yards. And, I used to go to Columbus every year, but after the whole pandemic situation, the world kind of shifted. It's I posted a picture. I don't know if you guys know. I don't post as much, but I have a page. It's called Gifted Styles Visuals, where I basically post a little bit of everything from all my years of photography and videography, from past Mr. Olympias, of course, with Sean Road and Mr. Olympia, George Peterson. Some of these people, of course, have passed away. And of course, even Bikini Girls. So we did a great photo shoot, me and JM, over there in Medellin, Colombia. Luke Sandow, John De La Rosa, and Flex Lewis, Brian Cage. And of course, I posted this picture. It's a legendary picture that I posted. I think this was 2016, I believe it was. And of course, if you are in Columbus, Ohio, you need to visit the statue and take a picture. It's gonna be a great event no matter what. And I know people are coming from all over the world. The one thing, the reason I bring this up before doing the predictions is because as part of the press, as part of the media coverage from 2009 moving forward, this would be the very first time the Arnold Classic won't have full media coverage. What do I mean by that? Back in the day, we used to have 4 or 5 whole medias for the bodybuilding and fitness world. Of course, we had Flex Magazine, we had NPC News Online, Muscular Development, and of course, RX Muscle. And when these events happened, you had people coming from each individual magazine or website. And before social media, there were a lot of forums, and we used to post the pictures there. Each individual media had their own, kinks, and people liked it because, you can hear their opinion, you can hear their pictures. Their pictures are different. This picture are different. It's a whole, conglomerate of people. Apparently, if you guys saw my post on the story, you saw that this will be the first time that no outside media coverage. For example, if I have a photographer coming in with me to do the show, this photographer cannot take the pictures off the stage. So it means that the people organizing the event from the Arnold Classic will have their own media people for their own pictures, their own watermarked pictures. And who knows what's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is they're going to have a whole Dropbox, and whoever media wants to use it, they're going to have to use the same picture. So everybody was going to have the same pictures. Before, we used to go to NPC News Online, we used to go to MD, we used to go to RX. Now that's not going to happen. So the pictures won't be on NPC News Online. For people asking me about the amateurs, at the moment of this recording, I have absolutely zero idea what's going to happen with the amateurs. It would suck. It would suck that you compete at an amateur show and there's no photography, because imagine winning your pro card and there's no footage of that or whatever. I hope they have some type of media in the amateurs as well, but at the moment, I have no information on that. All right, let's get right to it. I am going to do something a little bit different. Since I told you that I was going to call it like it is, but at the same time, I was going to give you something different. I'm going to give you 3 types of outcomes. Why? Because I think that this covers all the bases. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up on screen, basically 3 types of developments that could happen in any world or any universe, any parallel universe, subgenre, whatever. And I'm going to explain to you because, like, again, some people still believe in nonsense. And it's ridiculous that in 2023 we still have to talk about this. But the very first type of outcome is what I like to call the 2023 Arnold Classic Basic Bitch Troll Edition. The Basic Bitch Troll Edition right here. Why do I call it the Basic Bitch Troll? Basically, this is the type of people that put absolutely no effort into analyzing these competitors. They don't know exactly how they look. They just care about their own opinions, this, that, blah, 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 blah. They care about a placing that was left months ago in the Olympia. So what do these people do? Okay, so Angela placed second at the Olympia. So Angela is going to win the show because Francielli and Isa is not there. And then Cassandra was behind her, so Cassandra will place second. Then Ryan, Marissa, Sunny, etc., etc. Please, if you still believe the industry works like that, you better, go ahead and play ping pong or whatever. Because in reality, bodies change. In reality, people change. There's a whole misconception of this is not an NBA game. This is not a Major League Baseball game. This is not volleyball where you have a favorite team. And since this team has won 100 shows, doesn't mean that this team is always going to win. Same team wins again and again and again. If you have an athlete, it doesn't matter if it plays second, third, fourth. This is a whole different ball game. And sometimes, there's a whole different panel of judges. Some judges have learned about the class. Some judges have their own opinion about the class. Some judges prefer a certain look. So we're going to be seeing that and much, much more in the Arnold Classic. Now, the second outcome will be the safe edition. This is the person that wants to play it safe. This will be your normal average betting man or betting woman. This is the person that will say, okay, I'm going to play it safe because, I'm going to take whatever I grabbed from the Olympia and then put it into motion. This is basically your safest prediction. Ryan Fogal should win the show. Then Cassandra Gillis, Angela Borges is there because, again, some people think that, she's second, third in the world, whatever. She has to be up there. Sonny Andrews, Marissa, Amanda, Alexis, and Andrea. That's the safe bet. If you want to call it that, that's those top 3. It's somebody that is not willing to probably take a risk, or somebody that probably is not even paying attention to how these athletes look and how they are developing. So what I like to do, obviously, as you guys know me, I like to study not only the shows, the prior shows, I like to study the competitors. I've been doing this since way before many of the people now talking about it. Even like I've seen people on TikTok that don't know anything about the class and they're, shooting out of I don't know where because it's not really good. So if you're here in the Wellness Observer Live, thank you for being here because this is your number one source for all things wellness. So without further ado, I'm going to be talking about my prediction for the 2023 Arnold Classic. And it's going to look something like this. Ryan Fogal, absolutely, number 1. Cassandra, number 2. Sonny Andres, number 3. Angela, number 4. Marissa, 5. Amanda, 6. Alexis, 7. Andrea, 8th. All these competitors that you see on screen right now, I will make an explanation on why I think they're going to place, in what placing they're going to fit in. I have an idea. I've had so many people tell me that they wished either number one, Angela, or dead last, believe it or not. And it's a touchy subject, okay? But speaking of the competitors, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the competitors and we can talk about them. Just just pick and choose a little bit why these competitors look the way they look and why these competitors are so, why did I place them the way I did. The first competitor that I'm going to be talking about is Andrea Renko, which I have her in 8th place. Why do I have Andrea in 8th place? If you don't know, Andrea won the Arnold Amateur last year. Super pretty girl. She has done great in the off season. I've seen her training. You saw me interview her. She has been working with Kim Odo, and she's an Otto's Angel, as you can see right here. And she's a real one. By that, I mean, she's not going to be changing coaches. She's been doing really well. She's been developing, and she's very pretty. One thing I like to explain is the reason I think I'm putting her in the last place is because we haven't seen Andrea on stage with these girls at all. So we don't know how she's going to look next to these girls. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, she did Tampa and then she did Puerto Rico, Tampa, where her shape and structure was good. It was just her conditioning wasn't there. So what are we going to see from Andrea? She can surprise us all. Remember, kind of the same scenario that Marissa did at the Olympia. We have to wait and see. And since we haven't seen her, then we don't know exactly why or how Andrea is gonna place. But it's one of those things that you don't know. You have to keep it going, and you have to compete. She was invited to this show because, again, she won the Arnold Amateur, and that in itself, she was probably the first invite to the Arnold Classic. Next up, we have Alexis Adams, and you've seen Alexis. I've been posting her, and she's been posting even today, early in the morning. She has no problem at all showing the goods. And look at this, striations, beautiful. She's super pale, but she knows. And she's done great. This is the show that she wanted to do. This is the show that she wanted to show her efforts. And again, kind of the same boat that Andrea is on. The reason I am putting Alexis here is because this is the first time we'll see Alexis doing battle with these women. Remember, Alexis did, Tampa Pro, and that's it. And now she's coming in to do battle with the Giant. So I am really happy for her. As you saw in my interview, she is going to do great no matter what. And for her to be on that stage, that's the stage that she wanted to be with. Next up, Amanda Burnett. You guys know I like her. Amanda Burnett is also what we can call, I guess, a dark horse. She, you don't know exactly how she's going to come in. Sometimes she goes a little bit off, sometimes a little bit hard, sometimes the lineup is harder. And man, let me tell you, you cannot count her out. The one thing I wanted to see from Amanda, I wanted to see her next to these top Olympians, if you want to call it that. I wanted to see her do battle. And the stars aligned, and the stars are there for the whole world to see. If you don't know about, a thing about Amanda Burnett, she loves to compete. Okay, she loves to compete, and what she does is every single time she improves. You've seen competitors come and go, and sometimes when these competitors do their shows and probably they don't win, or they end up very close to winning, they get dismotivated and they get antsy and bitchy or whatever. They don't want to compete. Amanda is the complete opposite of that. No matter what, she goes in for battle. Next up, I have Marissa Andrews, of course, the sister of Sonny Andrews. She was the surprise of the show in Las Vegas. And as you can see in this picture, she has done more than great in the short amount of time. She can proudly say that she's in the top 7th in the world, beating, of course, the Ocho. And of course, look at this. Right here is the signature of the Andrews sisters. She is one that has no problem showing lines. And these are full lines, okay? When I talk about full lines, it's lines that you can see from the top of the glute to the bottom of the glute. Marissa surprised us all at the Olympia, and who knows, that spot for, you know, Marissa and Sunny, they're you know, it's hard. It can fumble. You know, we can put probably, it will be awesome to just have them together. It will be awesome to have Sunny next to Marissa and just let them battle it out. Then next up we have the one, the only, I'll keep saying it till she retires, the legend itself, Angela Borges. If you don't know, you should know. She's a legendary competitor of the wellness division back in the day. I want to say 8 years ago, she was at it. Okay, not anymore. Same thing that I've said about her, I can say it again, and it's simple. What type of Angela we're gonna see here? What else can she do? She's done everything. Her body's maxed out. Her conditioning wasn't good at the Olympia, and they still gave it a second place. Very controversial. A lot of people had Cassandra beating Angela. I did a video on it, and you guys chose Cassandra. People loved Cassandra's look over Angela Borges. But again, we have to respect the judges' decision, even though we don't have to like it, you know, but we can respect it. But here's one thing, and you know, again, she still has her millions and millions of fans. Some are very, very blind. And again, people think that I like to pick and bamboozle her, whatever the hell that word means, or bully her. Listen, everybody, if you're stepping on stage, you're getting critiqued no matter what. And you cannot block the sun with one hand, okay? If you saw the video I posted, this video, which we're going to talk about right here, this is the second video, by the way, that they block her calves with a humongous logo. You guys saw, you cannot reward this type of muscle deformation, okay? When I talk about the calves matter movement, when I talk about that, it's because it's valid. It's because it's facts. And you're seeing it right here. Other than that, she's still the same Angela Borges of 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's the same one. Here in the glutes, you've seen the glutes. You've seen them in motion. I'll leave it there. You guys, if you know, you know. But this, you cannot, as a judge, you have 7 girls that are all of them in great shape, and they all have calves. All these girls are working their calves off, literally. And the girls that are watching the show are also training their calves to the max. Listen, everybody, you cannot have a Mr. Olympia, a Pittsburgh Pro Champ, a New York Pro Champ, a Tampa Pro Champ, a Puerto Rico Pro Champ, a Korea Pro Champ. You cannot have a #1 pro open bodybuilder without arms, okay? If you're judging bodybuilding, and if you have a #1 spot, the #1 guy always has some great pair of arms. And if you're talking about wellness, you're talking about the inverse of things. You're talking about the lower body. Your lower body has to be complete. It doesn't matter what. Was it an injury? Was it a calf deformation due to whatever? Who knows? You know, only she will know. Does it deserve to be up there with people that have actually worked their calves off? I don't know. I wouldn't judge that. I wouldn't like that on my judging panel because it throws off the entire situation. When you have all these competitors lined up, it absolutely throws it off. That's why some people actually have her last place. Some people don't want to see her in that mix, because if you see this video again, you can bet your bottom dollar that, my friends, is not a pretty sight to see. And I don't care how much of a fan you are of Angela Borges, you have to accept that her time is pretty much done. She has tons of following in the world. She has all these people that follow. She can keep going about her business, but I truly do not think she is up to the part next to these other girls that are coming up in the ranks. I cannot wait to see a possible rematch between her and Cassandra Gillis. Again, nothing, nothing but respect for her. She has had a magnificent career, even though that career was in another federation with another cream of the crop, basically. This is a whole new generation of athletes coming into the show. So what I like to think is that the one factor here is that you cannot reward a body part that's completely missing. I don't know if you guys know, but there was a Mr. Olympia called Dorian Yates, where he tore his bicep and he was never the same again. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Remember, Dennis Wolf, great bodybuilder. Every year his calves got worse and worse and worse. Was it nerve damage? Probably, but he had the intestinal fortitude to basically said, you know what, I think I'm done. I don't think this is coming back. I don't think it's fair for the girls to, battle against. I can't battle against that because these calves are not coming back. Again, you have to have a full body, and the calves are part of the lower body of this category, which is the most important part of the whole symmetry of this. Yes, we can have the whole symmetry aspect, but you know what? It's completely disproportional. It's not top heavy and that V taper. It's the V taper the other way around. Our legs have to be big, our glutes have to be big, our calves have to be nice, round, and full. You have to train your entire lower body. Okay? So don't get me started on the minus 5-star rating. Don't get me started. In third place, I'm posting Sunny Andrews. And if you guys, there's two type of people, okay? There's two type of people. The people that think that Sunny's going to show up like she did in the Olympia, and there's people that think that she turned it around and she's coming back. If you guys saw my story where I told you guys which would you like, believe it or not, you'll see the results. You guys know what you're talking. You guys are my audience, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys know that Sunny Andrews totally beat Angela Borges in that poll, which I'm going to put up in a second. The only reason that I have her here again is because I truly believe that Sunny's back to being her whole self, and she is going to redeem herself in this show. This is life or death for her. I believe she still owns the Pittsburgh Pro title, New York Pro title. That's on her. And I think she's going to shut up a lot of people, okay? She came on camera. She was honest. She was saying, hey, I did this, that, and the other. Whether you believed it or not, you got to give her props because she went face to face with me and she didn't run away. She didn't block me. No, she went in and said whatever she has to say. Either you believe her or you don't. We will see in just a few hours how she looks next to these other girls. If the doctor comes back to her old self, the one kind of the same style that we saw last year, so Arnold, she can be very, very dangerous. And it's one of those things that you never know. You never know. You don't ever know if, I don't know, Cassandra, Rayane, Angela, if they have some Lasix fish and something happens to them and maybe, it throws off and they're off and hey, Sunny can move up. You never know in these cases. But one thing is for certain, the Andrews sisters are going to be right there in Columbus, Ohio to do battle. And it's going to be awesome. Next up, I have none other than Cassandra Gillis. She is amazing. And I like her a lot because I've seen Cassandra come up the ranks. And remember, if you guys saw my interview with her, she has been in a process of, evolution. Okay. And it's hard. It's hard for me. Remember, at the very first Olympia, I thought she got screwed, okay, badly. And she said that the judges said, she was too over conditioned. And then a year later, they were rewarding condition. Now, if you see her most recent pictures, because she signed with Dragon, her legs definitely came up and her calves definitely came up. She was training really, really hard. And her posing, believe it or not, which was one thing that I, knocked her out in a few moments in her career. Her posing seems to be getting a lot better, a lot more fluent. And, it's hard to talk about her without seeing her on stage. Do I think she can beat Angela Borges? Absolutely. I think she can beat Angela Borges in the Olympia. I still think she should have won. So if they put them together again, there's one thing you got to see very up close and personal. And I believe that Cassandra actually improved instead of staying the same. So if that makes sense to you, you'll watch the show and you will absolutely listen and watch. What am I telling you right now? And last but not least, winning this show hands down. The only way this person is not winning the show is if something happens and she doesn't make it to the show. Of course, I am talking about the one and only Rayane Fogal. You guys have seen her. You guys have been loving the way she looks. I've been loving the way she looks. You guys have seen me talk about her ever since she popped into the scene. You guys have seen her grow. You guys have seen her train. You guys have seen her training with the world champ, Francielle Matos. There is absolutely no way that Rayane loses this show. And I'll say it again. I'll say it once. I said it twice. I'll say it again. If you're going to compare anybody in the world to Francielle Matos, it will be Rayane Fogal, hands down. Hands down. Now, granted, in the Olympia, Rayane did mess up a little bit in her posing. Okay. Her posing, I believe her quarter turns weren't the best. Okay. And that, my friends, was something that hurt her at the end, because remember, some of these judges had never seen her before, but they saw her that one time. And trust me, she placed fifth in her first Olympia ever. So when you see this quarter turn right now, it is absolutely, totally different from the quarter turn that you saw at the Olympia, which is the point that I'm coming across of in this video. She has great shape, great structure, great stage presentation. She is nice, full. She exemplifies what wellness is. If it comes down to it, and we get Rayane, we get Cassandra, it's gonna be a good battle between those two. But at the end, I still think Rayane edges Kass on the glutes, especially in that top upper glute, and that's just something that you gotta work on. But again, Kass is still evolving, and Rayane is up to that point of almost like Francielle. They're almost at that point of perfection. There is absolutely, listen to me now, there is absolutely no chance in hell that she's gonna lose this show. Counted from me, the godfather of wellness, Johnny Styles. I'm telling you right now, she is not losing this show. You will have to keep it locked here. But I'm not leaving because I told you guys I was going to show you something, and I'm not. I almost did forget, and I was going to see the whole outro. But I seen this Rayane, walk and stage presentation again. Lights out, ladies and gentlemen. Lights out. It would have been awesome if we would have had Isa Pereira Nunez on stage, but that probably would have to wait until another show. So I did this poll on the Wellness of Her Life story, and you guys picked. Look, from Amanda versus Andrea, you guys picked Amanda all the way. Okay, and I think again it's the same thing. I think it's because you guys think you know, you haven't seen Andrea compete, so you don't know how she's gonna come out. But we does have seen Amanda on stage, so we know how she looks like. From Marissa and Alexis, you guys picked Marissa over Alexis. Again, Alexis hasn't competed next to Marissa, and we haven't seen them together. And in this matchup, believe it or not, from Sunny Andrews and Angela Borges, you guys picked Sunny Andrews to beat Angela Borges 68% to 32%. And of course, winning the show will be Ryan Fogal, 68% to 32%. I am proud to say that my peeps, you guys at home and you guys on your phones, you guys know what we are talking about on all things wellness. This has been the Godfather of Wellness. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for following, subscribing, all your comments, all your concerns. Let me know your opinion. Let me know your predictions down below. And I don't know, maybe whoever probably wins, I'll probably throw in like a gift or something. I'll send you a cool gift no matter what. Okay, I'll come up with something cool. Keep it locked here to the Wellness Observer Live, because we're going to be talking about the whole prejudging, and I'll have the prejudging recap for you guys, along with videos and pictures when we get them from the Arnold Classic. This has been Johnny Styles. Thanks for watching, and let's do this.